Hello everyone, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Keisha and today I'm going to be continuing reading books that my friends influenced me to pick up. I'm really excited for this video in particular because I'm going to be reading books from two of my best friends, Jordan from Jordan and Elaine and Hannah from the Teachers TBR. Now, I don't know that any of them know what I'm picking up for this video except maybe the first book that I'm going to mention. So the first book that I'm going to mention was originally the book that Jordan influenced me to pick up. We were in a bookstore together. Actually, me, her, and Hannah were all in a bookstore together, and Jordan did influence me to pick this book up. However, since then, Hannah has not shut up about this book. She quite literally is the poster child for this series. That being said, I've decided to do 3 different books for these girls, and the first one is going to be a compilation of books that they both influenced me to read. And so the first book is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. So this is the book that Jordan influenced me to buy, but that Hannah has not shut up about, so obviously I need to read it. I am actually reading this for the Night Owl Book Club, which is my friend Gwen from Gwendolyn Kinsinger's Patreon book club. So this is filling a lot of things for me this month, which makes my life so much easier. But anyways, I don't know a lot about this series. I know it's about Peyton and Kai, and it's fantasy, and it's supposed to be very Hunger Games-esque. But that's really all that I know. I don't read a lot of fantasy. I have enjoyed a few, but I generally don't enjoy a lot. So this could really go either way, but I know so many people love this. I also know that it is a clean fantasy. I think there's some language in it, but other than that is no spice, and it's YA. So hopefully this will be a hit for me. So this is going to be my conjoined book for these two girls, but I do have a piece that I'm also going to be reading for them. So Hannah's book is a book that I have always associated with Hannah from the moment that she read it. It's probably going to be a surprise to her that this is the book that I picked for her, but it's just a book that I associate with her. There's multiple reasons why. One reason is because this is a very sweet and cozy book, and Hannah is a very sweet and cozy person. Also, Hannah loves baking, and Hannah loves lemons. Do you know what the book is yet? It's The Magic of Lemon Drop Pie by Rachel Linden. I remember when Hannah read this and she really loved it, and it's not quite, I don't think, a favorite book of all time for her, but it was in her honorable mentions list in her favorite books video. So I am going to pick this one up, and I really hope to watch the Hallmark movie adaptation too, because it has, is his name Ian Fleming? It's Ian something. Ian Harding? Ian Harding. That's what his name is. He is the one who played Mr. Fitz on Pretty Little Liars. And so I really want to watch the Hallmark adaptation of this. But this just says it's an uplifting novel about a heartbroken young pie maker who is granted a magical second chance to live the life that she did not choose. And now we're at Jordan's book. And this is a huge reason why I switched things around. So Jordan has been begging me to read this book for forever now. And this is an author that I've read from before. This is a book series that I know is very near and dear to her heart, and this is her favorite book of all time. And I do think there is a good chance that I will like this book. However, the length of the book, as well as potentially the content, is very intimidating for me. And that book is A Voice in the Wind by Francine Rivers. This is the first book in the Mark of a Lion trilogy. I've been borrowing this book from my grandmother for almost 2 years now, and I still haven't read it yet. It is a biblical fiction, and I don't really know anything else about it other than that. It says, torn by her love for a handsome aristocrat, a young slave girl clings to her faith in the living God for deliverance from the forces of decadent Rome. This book is thick, but not only is it thick, there are a lot of words on the pages of this book. And so that really intimidates me, and I don't know how long it's going to take me to read this. It's pushing 500 pages. However, I know that in my heart of hearts, this is the book that I need to read that Jordan influenced me to read, because I probably would not have picked this up of my own accord had it not been for Jordan. Even though I'm borrowing it from my grandmother, I haven't actually bought it. I do need to read this book, and I do know that when I do read it, it's going to make me think of Jordan because it's her favorite book of all time and because she has been begging me to read this for forever. So this is the book that I chose because I feel like it's finally maybe the right time for me to read this. It just may take me a little bit longer. So A Voice in the Wind, The Magic of Lemon Drop Pie, and Powerless. We have a pretty wide array of genres here, so let me know in the comments if you can guess which book you think that I'm gonna like the most, and let's just go ahead and get started. Hello, hopefully you can hear me. I've got my window rolled down and I'm in my car because it is 77 and sunny, and I'm living my best life on my lunch break over here. So I wanted to give an initial update on Powerless. So I am 150 pages in, and I'm liking it, so that is a good sign. I will say that all the people that have compared this to the Hunger Games, yes, that's all I'm gonna say. Actually, no, it's not. Okay, so remember I said I was liking this before I say anything else. This feels like a carbon copy of the Hunger Games, except add magic and like different characters and stuff. But the core of this feels so similar. I'm honestly like wondering how this didn't get flagged as copyright. So there's that, but I am enjoying it, and it has been years since I read The Hunger Games, and The Hunger Games isn't my favorite. Like, I don't dislike it, but I'm just not a big dystopian or fantasy girl. So having been distanced from that series for so long, I think that's helping me enjoy it more. But the main thing that I enjoy about this right now is the banter between Peyton and Kai. And I feel like that's what most people like. So I am liking it. If I had to guess at this point what I would rate it, I would say a 4-star. It's not quite giving me 5-star feelings. I'm liking it, and I'm maybe potentially even loving it, but I don't feel a 5-star feeling. That could change by the end. The fact that I'm even thinking a 4-star at this point is impressive. So we shall see. I don't have a lot of thoughts, which is why I haven't updated yet. And again, I'm 150 pages in, but I just don't really have a lot to say. If I had to say something random and just like FYI, it's really not important, but something about me, I hate the term of endearment when people call you darling. So I don't like that. I much prefer other terms of endearment. I don't know what it is about darling, but it just like makes me cringe. So other than that, it's going great. So that's my update. I guess I will get back to reading and update again when I have more thoughts. I finished Powerless, and I know I didn't give a lot of updates on this, but it's because a lot of the time I was feeling the same way. So I just thought I would finish it and then wrap it up for you all. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit sad. I'm not gonna say I'm disappointed, because prior to reading this, I didn't have a lot of interest in reading it before Jordan and Hannah kind of convinced me to pick it up. But I don't know, I still kind of wanted to enjoy it more. So at the end of the day, I will say that I liked this book, but I do think it was very overhyped, and that is my personal opinion. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with it. I just don't think it was as great as what people say it is. I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm breaking Hannah's heart right now. But because I know how much she loves it. I know Jordan also gave it 5 stars, but I feel like Hannah's heart is truly probably breaking right now. But I love you. Anyways, let me explain just a little bit. So at the very beginning, I was interested in the story. Yes, it is so similar to the Hunger Games, just Hunger Games with fantasy or magical elements. And that didn't really bother me, but I also don't really love the Hunger Games. I read the first book and I gave it 4 stars, and I've seen all the movies, but I don't love dystopian or fantasy in general. There have been some that I've read and loved, like the Selection series and Scythe by Neil Shusterman. And then I liked the ACOTAR series, which I don't know if I would still like them the same today because I don't read as much smut, but I do think that Sarah J. Maas wrote a really riveting story. And I love Assistant to the Villain. So there have been some, but they're very few and far between. And Powerless, unfortunately, just was not another win for me. I did decide to just give this 3 stars. I feel like I was at the beginning getting invested in Peyton and Kai, and I really, really loved their banter. And there were a couple of instances like quotes or different dialogue between them that I thought like, oh, I would highlight this if I was highlighting in this. But as the story went on, I felt like my interest was dwindling, and I felt like there was a lot of filler. There's 3 trials throughout this nearly 500-page book, and I just felt like it didn't need to be this long. And I felt myself just having a lot of lulls and losing interest, and I wasn't super invested in the characters. I will just be fully transparent with you all right now. I'm having a hard reading year. I have only rated 2 books 5 stars this year, and everything else has been good but not great. And I so desperately want to feel something when I read a book, and this did not really make me feel anything. That's why it was a 3, because it was good. I can appreciate it and I understand why people like it, and I did enjoy it, but I didn't love it. I wasn't, like, there were moments in here where I'm like, I should be angry. I should be crying. I should feel something, and I was just so numb. And I'm like, is this a me problem? Potentially. But it just didn't do it for me. So I do like it though. I don't think this was a loss, okay? I do like it. I just didn't love it. I am glad that I read it, but I don't know. And then also, if this author wrote the word calculating or calculated one more time, I was going to throw this book across the room. There was so much repetitiveness in it. That was the only thing that got on my nerves. Is some of her writing was beautiful, but then some of her writing was really repetitive. She likes the words captivating and calculating and cocky. She likes to use the term of endearment, darling, which is a personal, not preference. I don't like that term of endearment. That's a me problem. But yeah, I don't know. It was good, but not great. So we're going to move on with the video, and I will tell you all when I pick up my next book and what my thoughts are. All right, so I decided to pick up A Voice in the Wind by Francine Rivers, which is my pick for Jordan. And I'm not coming with good news. I was hopeful. Well, I had like a 50-50 chance of liking this. And I'm only like 30 something pages in, and I just don't like this at all, which is what I was worried about. I know this is a thick book, and so I was trying to make myself read it and give it time because I thought maybe it would get better, and it may, but I just don't like her writing in this. I've read Redeeming Love by her, and I gave that a 4 out of 5 star, and I did like that. But I don't like her writing in this, and I don't like that it's a lot of war and things. I don't know. I can't get behind that, I guess. Not behind that. That's not the right word. I don't enjoy it. Even when I read historical fiction, I don't enjoy seeing the war. I enjoy seeing the people. And I know we're just being introduced to Hadassah, who is the main character in this, and we're only just getting there, like I'm only just getting there because I only read 30 some odd pages, but I'm not going to force myself to read this right now because I'm already slumping so hard this year. I have found very few and far between good books this year for me, and by good books I mean like 4 and 5 star reads. So I really don't want to push myself to read this if I'm not feeling it. So I'm sorry, Jordan, I love you, but I am going to put this down, and I don't know if I'll ever pick it back up. And I know that sounds awful, but it just doesn't feel like a me book. So I am going to put it down. But I have been reading on my Kindle, and I am reading this book. This has no relevance to this video whatsoever. But I decided to pick up Fallen Mountains by Kimmy Cunningham Grant, who wrote The Silent Woods, which if you watched my video where I read a book that Bethany from Bethany's Bookshelf influenced me to read, you will know that she is the reason I read The Silent Woods, and that was my first 5-star book of the year and currently my favorite book that I've read this year. So because I'm slumping so hard, I was like, let me just try this one, and I'm really liking it so far. I'm about 26% of the way through. So I'm not going to go into detail about that one, but I am planning on picking up The Magic of Lemon Drop Pie soon after that one, but I did need a little bit of a break and to try something that I thought I may love a little bit more. So we're going to take a little bit of a break, but I will be back around whenever I read The Magic of Lemon Drop Pie. And the final thing that I'm going to say is that I was thinking about reading Redemption by Karen Kingsbury, which is another one of Jordan's favorite books. She loves Karen Kingsbury and that series specifically. However, I was not able to get that from Libby, and I don't feel like buying the book. So I'm reading a lot on my Kindle lately, anything that I can get from the library, and I'm enjoying that a lot more. So I'm not able to get it for like several months. So unfortunately, I can't read it right now. So maybe we'll do a try again in the future. But I guess it ended up being a good thing that I read Powerless because Jordan forced me to buy it. She didn't force me. But we were book shopping together, me, her, and Hannah. And she did influence me to pick it up. So that can just fully, I guess, now serve as her book pick for me. Hello friends, I'm back, and I am excited to share good news with you all. So it's been a couple of weeks since my last update. I did finish Fallen Mountains, and I ended up giving it 3 stars. I'm not going to say a lot about it here, but I am so glad that I read the book. Kimmy Cunningham Grant's writing is just, oh my goodness, excuse me. Kimmy Cunningham Grant's writing is just so beautiful, and I get really immersed in her stories. This wasn't a new favorite for me, but I just really enjoyed the ride. So if you are looking for a kind of slow-paced mystery, then maybe give this one a shot. I don't really know what to compare it to, but I did enjoy my read of it. And then since then, I also have read Change of Plans by Cindy Rice, and I ended up giving this book 4 stars. If you're looking for a good workplace romance with a golden retriever guy and a girl who has struggled with parental relationships and really bad abusive ex-boyfriend relationships, and also the trope of if he wanted to, he would, this book, y'all, is so good. If you like Courtney Walsh and Carrie Winfrey's writing, I think you could really like this. I loved so much about this, but I'm not going to talk about it here any more than that because this is focusing on Jordan and Hannah's books, and this is not either of those. But all of that to say, we are now here. And it's so funny because I'm actually on reading sprints with Josh from Bookish Daddy and Wendy from Wendy's Inspired Reads. And I was telling them I'm starting this book tonight. And everybody in the comments was like excited for me to, well, not everybody, but like some people in the comments were like excited for me to read this. And ever since I've said I was going to read this book, so many people have said, oh my gosh, I love that book. It was 5 stars. And I was like, well, I hate to break it to y'all, but I don't think it's going to be 5 stars just because I have only rated 2 books 5 stars this year. And this one is probably just going to be a 4 at the highest. Well, let me tell you, I've read 20 pages, and why in the world have I waited so long to read this book? Also, this is the most Hannah book of Hannah books that I could ever imagine in my life. I'm so glad that this is the book that I chose to read for her, and I know she probably would have so much rather me enjoyed Powerless more, but this book is a Hallmark movie. Like, there's a reason why this was made into a Hallmark movie. There's a reason why Hannah loved this and so many other people love this. This is such a cozy, small town with good life lessons type of a story, and I definitely see how it can be made into a Hallmark movie. I am eating it up. I'm so excited. I can't tell you much about it so far, except that I love Rachel Linden's writing. And also, I love that she is talking about, this is going to have a second chance romance, I think. I don't even know if I told you guys what this was about, but it's about this girl named Lolly, and she is working at her parents' restaurant. She makes lemon meringue pies, and she has this secret recipe from her mom who passed away 10 years ago. She has a younger sister, and she comes across this diary with her sister from years ago when she was younger and all these lists of things that she wanted to do in her life. And she's about to turn 33 and she hasn't done any of those things. And so now she wants to do one of those things before she turns 33. I think this is going to have a magical realism element to where she gets a second chance at doing different things in life. So maybe there's different choices she could make. But I think there's also a second chance romance in here, which I'm so excited about. There was mention of this guy that she liked, and she's having a conversation with this guy that's in the diner. I think, is it a diner it's some restaurant. I think it's a diner, but it may just be a regular restaurant. Anyways, there's a guy in the restaurant, and he says, he seems so smitten with you. Mabel always said he reminded her of a sunflower and you the sun. Whenever you'd come in the room, she said he turned towards you like he was following the light. I was like, oh my gosh. And then you keep reading. And she said, well, she doesn't say, but she's thinking about it. She said, the truth was, Rory had the same effect on me. We'd been each other's flowers. We'd been each other's suns. Oh my Lanta. I am swooning over here, and I haven't even met Rory yet. This is just like reminiscent of that. Or not reminiscent. This is just her reminiscing on him. And then also there was this one part that I wanted to read you all because I was like, this is so like, it just reminds me of Hannah too, because she loves lemons, and this just sounds like something that Hannah would say. But Lolly's talking about her mom. She had loved lemons, and it says she had loved lemons, their sharp, fresh scent and cheerful hue. She would slice a lemon in half and sniff deeply, happily. See, Lolly, she'd say, lemons brighten every day. They are a touch of kitchen magic, and we all need a little magic in our lives. I have no words. It is late, and I don't know if my thoughts are going to come out great or not, especially because that little puppy that you just caught a glimpse of is about to drive me crazy to feed her before bed. But I just finished The Magic of Lemon Drop Pie by Rachel Linden. And for most of this book, I was like, I think I could give this a 4-star. There were points of it that frustrated me. Like, there's definitely one point where something happens and I was like, are you kidding me? Like, you did not just influence this situation to happen the way that it did. Like, I'll just put it this way. I don't like the ideology that love can't conquer all. And there is a character at some point in this that kind of not even exemplifies that. She just kind of says it. And it frustrated me because I'm like, why? Like, I don't believe that. And so, I don't know. I'm also a hopeless romantic. But there was a part there that was going on. There was a part in some flashbacks that I was like, I'm not really sure I care for how this is happening. And I really wasn't sure, to be honest with you guys, how this was going to end. But I really liked this book at the end of the day. And I think that it's important to note that this is a book about life. This is a book about choices. This is a book about finding your bliss and finding your joy and not giving up hope and knowing that it is never too late in your life to find those things and to follow your dreams and tackle what's right in front of you. And I don't have as beautiful words as Rachel Linden writes to tell you all how impactful this book can be if you just let it, if you just listen. But it was so good. And I cried at the end of it. Like, I was just teary-eyed. There is a choice option that one of these lemon drops allows Lolly to see. And that specific choice had me choked up and thinking about things in my life and if I wanted certain things in my life. And the fact that that tugged at my heartstrings the most was really telling. So I can't say anything. I'm talking in vague words because I can't spoil because you really need to read this book. But I just really liked how this ended. I really didn't know how it was going to end. And this was one of those books that the ending was going to make it or break it for me. And the ending made this book 5 stars. And I haven't had a 5-star in a minute. And this one was a really good one. So I'm getting teary-eyed talking about it. I don't know if you could tell, but Hannah, we have a winner. I hope this makes up for not liking Powerless. And I really hope that at some point in life, I'm able to find a book that Jordan influences me to read. Doesn't have to be her favorite book of all time, though I'm sure that would make it better for her, but just a book that she influences me to read that makes me feel this way. I would love if every friend, like if I had a book like this, you know? And I think that's totally possible and totally doable, but there's just so much of this that was so good. I also want to read this quote. This isn't like one of the most quotable things in the book, like that encompasses the whole book, so I feel like I can share it without it being a spoiler, but I really liked this that was said by her Aunt Gert, who is a big person in the story. She says, "Some things aren't meant to be mended. Sometimes it's in the breaking that the light can finally shine through." I have no other words. I'm glad that this is how the vlog ended. I'm glad that I have found my third 5-star book of the year. I cannot tell you all how overjoyed I am that we found another one. So this will be my favorite book of March. We've had one 5-star month. This is a good one. Everybody, I'm talking to you, should pick this book up. So good. Okay, I'm going to end it here. I will quickly wrap things up. Again, I read Powerless. It was a mid-read for me. I think at the end of the day, it was a little bit more disappointing than I originally thought or said earlier in this video. I think that was a big thing for me, is that I did enjoy reading it, but it didn't give me like what this book gave me. And I think this type of read is probably just what is good for me in this season of my life, and I'm wanting life lessons or good reminders or different things like that out of my books, and I didn't feel like Powerless gave that to me specifically in this season. It's either that or the Courtney Walsh rom-coms right now, guys. I'm just telling you. So I am glad that this video ended this way, but again, sorry that I didn't like Powerless more, but I did like it. I know that nobody thinks that because of the way I talk about it. I did like it. I just didn't love it, and I thought it was more of a generic YA fantasy. Sorry, but that's my opinion, and I get to have those here on my channel. And of course, I know, like, I've already kind of told Jordan of Whist in the Wind did not pan out, and she was like, you just gotta push through some of it, but also, like, with the way you read, and I'm like, I know, girl, I know. You're not telling me anything I don't already know. And I do think after this series, I probably won't do a series like this again, just because I feel like nobody wants to see me come in reading their favorite books or reading books that they liked, because I'm probably going to hurt some feelings, and I don't mean to. It's just inevitably the way that things work out. So I am glad that there have been some diamonds in the rough. And yeah, if you like this video, if you're excited to see who I'm reading next, which I will just go ahead and let you know, that is probably going to be a little bit delayed of a video because I'm going to try to take a little bit of a break in April from that. So you probably won't see the next installment until May, but I am glad about this. And again, if you like this video, let me know. And leave a lemon if you made it this far. I'm forgetting how I end my videos because it's 10:30 at night and I'm tired and emotional from this book. So thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate y'all so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, friends.